Well, we should probably introduce the 9 items. I kind of was, I guess, as someone who's not a researcher, I would see them as statements. And then the participants were asked to see to what degree each statement applied to them from 1 to 5, with 1 being does not apply to me and 5 applies to me a lot. So I'll just read out the 9 statements that the participants obviously read and wrote their corresponding number. I believe that I have some impact on someone. My life is mentally rich and fulfilled. I am interested in many things. I feel that I am contributing to someone or to society. I would like to develop myself. I often feel that I am happy. I think that my existence is needed by something or someone. I would like to learn something new or start something. I have room in my mind. And I'm assuming that last one is room in my mind to think or contemplate or to
Yeah, so
fantasize.
the last one which you read out, the reason it's at the bottom of that list is that the way we've presented them in the paper is the degree to which they strongly tap into Ikigai. Okay, so the first one being, I believe that I have some impact on someone, and also my life is mentally rich and fulfilled. They very much, and as I'm sure from your research as well, they kind of epitomize what Ikigai is, or how somebody might start framing their experiences of Ikigai. And as we go down the list, the statements become weaker, still valid, but weaker. And the last one is something which caused quite a lot of contention, both at the translation stage and also in some of the new research, which I'll talk about later. So I have room in my mind very much taps into I have the mental capacity to take on new things, to learn new things, etc., etc. To kind of add to society, to add to my life. But the purpose of the kind of translation was that it was a direct translation in both text and meaning. So Yasu and Kenichi, they kind of cross-translated. So one of them had a go at translating. The other one tried to retranslate it back into English, and then we looked at the disparities between the translations and really boiled those down in terms of both text and then meaning, to make sure that the true impact came across. And the I have room in my mind, when that was said to me the first time, I really did have no idea what that meant. So it took a little bit of back and forth, and that's what we settled on. And we've since talked to kind of other Japanese co-authors on different projects. And for them, they do understand what that means. But in UK samples, there is a little bit of disparity because that could be taken in many different ways. And just as a quick preview to some kind of research which we're doing in the future, we've recently undergone a validation of this in a Turkish population for reasons which I'll talk about later. And the same item came up again, where the Turkish translators also had difficulty and were translating it in a completely different way. So ideally, there is actually scope for removing that item from the questionnaire.
I see.
It wouldn't have any sort of meaningful impact on the data, but it does mean that the Ikigai-9 would then become the Ikigai-8.
Okay. Now, it did stand out for me, and I mean, I lived in Japan for 10 years, so I think I kind of knew what it meant, but I, at the same time, I was thinking, okay, that's interesting how that's been translated, because they're not being, it's not as specific as the others. It could be open to interpretation.